Hello Taurus, it's Kathleen from Triple Threat Tarot, here to do your March reading. I apologize for being so late in the month with this. I've had a torn rotator cuff and that's made it really difficult for me to keep up with things. If I'm having a problem with the cards tonight, I do apologize. It's part of the healing process on that. However, I will let you know that the readings have been really interesting with these archetype cards. I'm doing something new. I'm pulling some archetypes for you to kind of guide the reading, and I'll end with oracle cards and do the traditional Celtic cross reading in the center here. That's been working out really well. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. For those who are returning, welcome back. I normally take jumpers from the deck. However, when I work with the archetype cards, and it's been working that I've just cut the center after I've cut them 3 times. So, okay, Taurus, let's see what you got. You got the river. And on the other side, the cave. All right, let's see what the archetypes at play are here. It's interesting that this deck is actually circular because the circle represents the balance within the whole self, right? Becoming whole, the circle of the self. And the archetype here relates to the readings, or has been generally relating to the readings. Circle is really the balance of the masculine and feminine. You know, in Indian culture, it's 2 triangles, upside down and right side up, that symbolize the conjoining of the masculine and feminine so that one can be complete and whole and balanced, right? It's God and self. It's the shadow and the light aspects of self. So all of those things relate back to the symbol of the circle. And I've found that this has really been interesting when I've done the readings in the past, for the past few signs, I mean. Just so you know, this is a general reading and it will not resonate with everyone. It will resonate with whoever Spirit most wants to talk to in the collective. That's just how it works. If it doesn't resonate with you this time, you can always check your moon, rising, or Venus sign. May resonate with you more there, depending on what information you're seeking out. If you're interested in finding out a question or an issue around love, Venus may be where you're better suited to look. If it's something to do with your purpose, the rising sign may work, although this has been working in that case as well thus far with the readings that I've been doing. The other thing is you may want to check back at the beginning of next month to see if what didn't resonate in the beginning of the month resonates then, because this is a future forward looking reading, and I'm going to ask that for you guys, Taurus, this goes through the next 4 weeks, because as I said, I am late in getting this to you. So when I go into your Celtic cross, I will ask for the next 4 weeks instead of the next couple of weeks for March, so that you can get a full reading here, okay? We're going to start with, oh, the river and the cave are right near each other, so that's interesting. I'm going to start with the river, though. This is about letting things go and letting things flow, right? There is a reason so many rituals of change and rebirth take place in the river. It is forgiveness embodied in physical form, without asking anything in return. The river washes away what is no longer necessary, smoothing over sharp edges and accepting all of our mistakes and grievances. Once we step in, we are no longer in control. The river carries us farther down the stream of transformation than we had planned. Its waters have a special gift for reflecting back to us a new and dreamlike vision. Once the tears have passed, we see ourselves as we have not before, with a little more lightness, grace, and fluidity. Keep in mind, the you that stands within the river is the real you, full of deep emotion and potential, nothing to hide, nothing to judge. You may drink in the sight of your true self. The river is emotion. When you are in the current, you will know by the bursting forth of tears, laughter, song, and despair. All of the emotional flow is in the current. So interesting how these two kind of contrast each other, right? With water being your emotions, and being in the throes of those emotions, which can sometimes be somewhat roller coaster-ish, yes. You can only resist the river. You can only, in other words, you can only resist acknowledging your feelings for so long. Eventually, it will pull you toward change. So you may as well get in there with style and grace. Okay. When you are in balance in the river, you have acceptance, grace, reflection, and forgiveness for others. When you're off balance, it's torment of emotions, flooding, and overwhelm. And then the cave kind of strikes me as the shadow. But let's see. Yep, the dark, the portal, the interior. Those who are fortunate enough to find and enter the cave are forever changed. It is a place of potent power, acting both as a portal to another realm and a space for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat, where one can see the true self in the darkness and the esoteric teachings. The cave is known to reside in the center of the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard. Yet because of its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright lights of the city while the cavernous and dimly lit chamber calls us out to us in the night. Where is your cave? You already know. Return to it and tend to the fire. So it looks like a very emotional situation is going on for you guys. Looks like you're examining the shadow self, which are those parts that the ego does not want to recognize, right? For example, when you get in a conversation with a friend and they say something that triggers you, the reason it triggers you is because somewhere within, it's an aspect of your own ego or self that the ego does not want to recognize in oneself, if that makes sense. So there are a lot of emotions here, a lot of things bubbling to the surface. I don't think that you can push them down anymore. And I think that there are some aspects of self that require you to go within the cave and seek them out, right? And remember, it's very important to be as compassionate with ourselves as we are with other people, as understanding of ourselves as we are with those around us, as forgiving of ourselves as we are with others who have wronged us, because we can wrong ourselves pretty easily sometimes. Envision yourself as an old sage in a cave where what enmities do you need? What draws you even closer to the cave or within the cave? And slowly and steadily, crystals of enormous magnitude grow within the dark confines of the cave. Let the cave teach you patience. So, I love this image of the crystals kind of growing in the cave, right? That examining the ego self, going within your emotions, taking the time to go within and also allow those feelings to actually rise up and feel them and experience them, even if they're not exactly what the ego would like to admit are there. Beautiful crystals form, right? Energy is derived from that. There is light in the cave here. See? There's light in the cave. So, all very interesting. Excuse me, I've got an alarm going on in the house, and we'll just ignore that for now. Okay. So, that being said, I'm going to start your reading now. We are going to start with Bianco De Niro here. We'll set these aside so that you can keep an eye on what your archetypal energies are, because they will play into the reading. We'll see how those kind of align. Sorry, I've got kind of small area here I'm working with. All right. We'll shuffle 3 times and then we'll start, okay? This is really just to kind of cleanse the energy of the deck, even though I saged them prior. Okay, Spirit. Can I get Taurus for the next 4 weeks, please? Taurus for the next 4 weeks. Taurus for the next 4 weeks, please, Spirit. Taurus for the next 4 weeks. For Spirit, Angels, Guides, and Ancestors. Can I get Taurus for the next 4 weeks? Ace of Swords. Some truth comes in. Message from the divine. Clarity in a situation is given. The Lovers. Maybe around a romantic situation here, Taurus. Usually the card of Gemini. This is Taurus. Maybe you're dealing with a Gemini. I don't know. Definitely some passion going on here in this relationship, but some clarity comes to you. Six of Pentacles. Either enough to be given out to others. That's in your subconscious mind. So maybe there's a hope that you have enough to give to others. Maybe there's a hope that you have enough to give to this person. But that's not going to be a deterrent for this relationship. You got death in the past, so there was a rebirth here of some kind, either of this relationship or a death of a prior relationship walking into this, and now there's another relationship on the horizon. Ooh, that just flipped out. Ooh, you've had some burdens. Okay, they're clarifying for me. See how that jumped out of there? So saying, no, there was a death of a previous relationship. There's some clarity coming in a new opportunity in love here with the Lovers. Someone you're interested in. There's a concern about having enough to give this person. And there's 10 of Wands here in your conscious mind saying, I've got a lot of burdens. Got a lot of burdens going on that you're carrying here. This is the 10 is always the top of the deck. The most burdens you can carry, the most wands you can carry, right? 10 is the end of it. So that's a lot. And you're actually walking towards town. A lot of times with this card, it references that, particularly when you're talking about a relationship and it's in the conscious mind, the wands represent the passion. So there have been some passions that have burdened you in the past, relationships that have burdened you in the past. So you're thinking about the past here, I think, and how much you've carried there. Page of Swords, there is a message coming in. And the Tower. So your attitude is there was a Tower moment here, a death and rebirth of yourself. This is an abrupt change. That's kind of what you're sitting in right now and thinking about it, analyzing and going over. Tower doesn't have to be. Tower and death are actually rebirth opportunities. It's kind of like when the universe says, okay, this isn't going the way that it should go. Or, I liken it to you're not moving in the right direction, so we're going to help you out here. You've got 7 of Swords or 8 of Swords in your attitude here. So this is being blindfolded and bound by yourself. And the swords represent your internal mantra, your internal thoughts. So your environment is binding you, right? You think is keeping you from realizing your best self here. Let's see what we've got here for hopes and fears. Hopes and fears for Taurus, please. Next 4 weeks, Spirit. Hopes and fears. Okay. Taking a rest, taking a time out, thinking about self, getting some peace, having some clarity. I think, I don't think you want your peace disturbed because you've had these burdens here and you went through this death and rebirth. You went through this Tower moment in the past with someone else. And now you've got the 4 of Swords here and you're like, okay, I'm good. Like, I have my peace going on. And here you're working on yourself. You're constructing your situation. See, here where you were worried about not having enough to give out, here you're working on that. So you're in the midst of creating your own wealth, your own foundation for you, all right? Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Temperance in reverse. Hard to have patience for this to come in. Let's get some clarification here with the Light Seers Tarot. See if we can get you any other information here, Taurus, on this new Lovers card that's coming in. Let's see what we can get here, because you don't want your peace upset. You've had enough difficulty in the past with this stuff. You've just gone through a rebirth of self, yeah? Transformed. Oh, look, celebration and 10 of Cups. Something's coming here. You had a Tower moment that you're still kind of dealing with the reckoning of all of that. Okay. It's interesting because I think all of this emotion around this past relationship, around this Tower moment, has to do with the river and getting swept up in those emotions, and the cave here and going within and seeing how, you contributed to your own situation, what your role was. And I think that there's some nervousness here about being involved again. Did I do this 3 times? Let me do it one more time just to make sure. 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups. Oh, that's kind of amazing. All right. Let's get some clarification here, Spirit, on the Lovers. Can I get some clarification on the Lovers here, Spirit? If we do go for this relationship, this interest. 6 of Cups. This is someone returning from the past. But this is an old friend. This is absolutely an offer. It can be an offer of friendship. It can be, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. What's going on? Okay. So perhaps you're talking to someone you haven't talked to in a while. Someone from the past is reaching out to you. And you see that there might be potential there, or maybe You think there's more to the story? Judgment. So you need to make a decision. Judgment's in reverse here about what you're going to do about this, I think. This tried to come out, but we're going to shuffle it again, see if it does. If it was supposed to. Ooh, Queen of Cups. Somebody with a big heart. Somebody who's an empath. Somebody who's intuitive. Someone who wears their heart on their sleeve, is open and receptive. Yeah. This is a giver that you've got here in your midst. Queen of Cups. Ace of Wands. Some passion coming in from the divine here. You have not moved on from this Tower moment entirely. Which is, evident because it's in your attitude here. This is a Six of Swords. This is moving on, taking your bags and saying, I'm out of here, right? In the reverse, haven't completely moved on. That's why you're thinking about the 10 burdens of the past. Death and rebirth. Death and rebirth. So there was a death here that was supposed to be a rebirth, and this is in the reverse. So maybe your energy is gravitating towards that, or maybe it's not entirely over like you thought it was. Interesting. Anything else, Spirit? Five of Cups. Still thinking about the past. See? Okay. Here in the Five of Cups, this is looking down this rabbit hole, down this dark suckle of the past. You get these 3 cups that spilled, cracked the earth, and there's a suckle here, right? But there's still 2 cups that you have. And your foot is in one of the cups, almost pouring it out into the suckle, because you're not acknowledging the present moment. You're not acknowledging the light and the opportunity that's in the present moment. You're too busy focusing on the past. That's why you're not moving on. That's why you're still in the Tower. That's why you need to make a decision, okay? So let me get some a couple more cards on that, and then I'll get you some oracle cards, and we'll wrap this up. But it looks like you need to go inside and deal with these issues and make a decision on what you're going to do. If you're going to be getting back into a relationship with whoever this person is or not. That's what the shadow work is about. That's what the emotions are about, because you haven't moved on. And the only way for new things to come in and be successful is if you can forgive yourself and forgive them, and forget everything that happened. Let it go. Not necessarily forget it, but forgive yourself for being there and putting yourself through that, and for anything they've said and done, for everything you've said and done, and sincerely mean it, because otherwise it's just going to pollute everything going forward. Okay. 5, the Hierophant. You know this. You've got a spiritual connection here, right? You know that this is the issue. Okay, we get Death again. Yeah, we get the Six of Swords again. Yeah. We get the Hermit this is not going in and seeking your own light here. The Star, your dreams didn't come true with this past relationship is my guess, but there will be reason for celebration. 3 cups. There will be reason for celebration, but you've got to move on first. That's the thing. That Six of Swords has to be in the upright. 7 of Wands, very weary warrior. This person is still fighting the battles that this guy is carrying, okay? And maybe, maybe you are still trying to settle out a relationship in terms of, I don't know, divorce and financial assets, or something is going on where you're still battling here. Maybe it's your own inner demons that you're battling here in the cave. Knight of Swords, again, the Knight of Swords. You're going to get some kind of message, some kind of verbal message. 4 of Wands, this person could be your twin flame. This person could be your soulmate. This could be marriage in the front, or it was a marriage that you saw that should have happened and it didn't. But this is in the upright, so I don't think so. I think this is this Lovers person that you're looking at, a communication from them coming in of truth and clarity, which we saw earlier in the read, right, with the Ace of Wands, and you've got the 4 of Wands here. This is potential marriage opportunity here. All right. Let me get you an oracle card so we can see how to proceed, like what the advice is here from Spirit. And I can almost already kind of predict it, but I think the main points here are, you've been hurt in the past. You're still kind of in that situation. Some truth and clarity is going to come in. Someone's going to come and talk to you from the past. And then you've got this interest in the lovers here. You've got this passionate interest in someone. And you're not sure if you have enough for them, but you're also not done with your own stuff. So let's see what Spirit has to say about what you should be doing with that, okay? Let's get this Sacred Earth Oracle and see what we can get out of here. See what Spirit wants to tell us in terms of advice for you, Taurus. Okay. One more. I was going to do 3. Sorry, guys. No, it takes a minute. Oops. All right. That shoulder is a bear, I have to say. All right, here we go. Advice for Taurus, please, Spirit. Can I get some advice for Taurus, please, Spirit? Can I get some advice for Taurus, please, Spirit? These cards are really big. Sometimes it's difficult to get them to jump here. Maybe this isn't the deck you want me to use, Spirit. Is that it? Okay. Well, we'll move on to something else then. That's fine. That's fine. How about this? Yeah, better idea here? Okay. Sometimes you just gotta move on to something else because this isn't what you were supposed to use. Which I kind of had an intuition about when I grabbed it, but I kind of went with it and yeah, sorry. My bad. My bad. Let's try these. All right. Yeah, okay, well choose wisely. That's hilarious. Okay, you're right. Okay. It's so hilarious in so many ways. Okay. Choose wisely when you're picking oracle cards, when you're picking the deck, Kathleen. Okay. All right, fine. Oh, sorry. This one came down here. And then material and spiritual prosperity. Okay. All right, do we have one more for Taurus or is this it? Oh, apparently, yes. Material harvest. So there is a focus. You have that 8 of Pentacles where you were working on something for yourself. And maybe this is a time to really focus on that. Maybe this is a time to focus on your material harvest so that you're not in this position where you're working so hard and you have more time for a relationship and you have more time for something outside of yourself. And you don't have to be in a position where you feel like you may not be able to provide what you would like to. Okay. I'm going to take this Psychic Tarot here. Let's see here. Choose wisely. Okay, here we go. This card comes forth when you have a vision or goal that you want to achieve, but too many choices and scattered energy. An unrealistic expectation that prevents you from attaining what you desire. Opportunities are bountiful, but there's a decision to be made. Remember, we got the Judgment card about having to make a decision. And maybe that decision, now that I'm looking at all of this and the oracle cards that have come up, that decision is probably, do I go after someone right now when I'm still dealing with my past? I'm still reconciling that Tower moment. I'm still doing the death rebirth thing of my inner self and still caught up in those emotions, or do I just focus here on the work that I'm trying to put forth and the material harvest I'm trying to generate for myself? In reality, you are in control and responsible for all the choices you make. Take time to think, analyze, and carefully look at the different possibilities that are in front of you, and don't be hasty just because you feel pressure. Don't be influenced by people who have no idea, expertise, or education in the area that you're choosing. A focused, wise decision far outweighs one made emotionally or in desperation. Okay. Let's see here. Material and spiritual prosperity. The number 6 physical card represents a peaceful, tranquil time when problems seem to actually disappear. A sudden bonus, pay raise, or even a promotion could be coming. This card may also signify a group that has worked on something to strive towards a common goal. A time of prosperity, balance, and harmony in your physical and spiritual existence is showing you that the practice of giving and receiving will bring you true riches. Look into your life and see where you can spread spiritual and physical wealth. Is there a person or favorite charity that would welcome an act of kindness right now? Okay, well, you did get the 6 of Pentacles, where, you know, the person is doling out coins to those who are in a receiving position. So that may have 2 meanings here, aside from just the relationship and having enough, but to do some work in terms of, you know, giving back, right? And then material harvest. Material harvest. All right. One of the laws of the universe is what you sow, you reap. So where you were worried about having enough financial, enough things going on financially, and then you were working really hard to get it, when you start giving back, you start getting, is the point, right? This card states that it's time for you to reap the harvest you've worked for and so rightly deserve. The last physical card denotes self-mastery, sufficiency, independence, security, and the art of enjoying what you've strived for. You've done the hard work, learned the lessons along the way, and used them to prosper in areas of your life. The number 9 also means endings. Not that good fortune necessarily stops, but you do honor yourself as you finish up or celebrate the completion of the projects that you were working on. This would be a perfect time to look ahead and use wisdom you've gained to think about what else you want to achieve. Consider smart investments, ponder ideas that show you profitable potential. Congratulations, you've earned it. So the advice from Spirit here is, you know, choose really wisely. You've been working on something really quite diligently, right, with that 8 of Pentacles. And you've got the 6 of Pentacles in your earlier spreads, talking about like the giving and receiving and being able to have enough to give back. And it's going to be your time to prosper. So just choose really wisely about what you're going to do here, okay? I think everything that you're focusing on, the emotions and the Tower moment and the previous relationship and all of that, you need to do all that inner work and complete that. And in the meantime, you know, you've got this going on. You've got this whole material harvest and bounty going on here. So I think if you make the decision to focus on that, that's a wise choice, is what I come up with here. So hopefully that helps you. If it did resonate with you at all, please do me a favor and like, share, and subscribe. Hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you know when I post. And that will help get the message out to more Taurus who need to hear the messages that are being sent for them. And anything else? No, I think that's it. Oh, yes. I have a contest on Instagram. Sorry. I have a contest on Instagram where you can win a free reading with me. If that's of interest to you, head on over there. There's a Shamrock video for the month of March. I'm going to be pulling a winner on Wednesday, so I'll announce it on Thursday. And if that's of interest to you, I would suggest you get over there and do that. I'm going to be reading through the comments. You're going to tell me why you're lucky. That's all. Attitude of gratitude, right? Let's share the wealth a little bit. All right. That's it, Taurus. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for joining me on the channel, and I will look forward to seeing you next month. Again, apologize for the lateness of the video. Couldn't be helped. Physical restrictions denoted that I had to actually rest. So, all right. That's where we are with that. Thanks so much. Love you guys. Bye.